So back to the conversation. They need to make LeBron sit down. It's time for him to sit down. You know, I think, like I said, I think him and the NBA, I think the NBA ruined the sport of basketball with him. I think they was thirsty. Let me tell you why I think they ruined the game. Michael Jordan had become so big that what happened is he wasn't just making money for the Bulls, he was making money for the whole league. So when you selling these seats, courtside seats, people would buy those seats to sell them. So I pay so much thousands for season tickets courtside. And then when certain games come, I sell them. Now, when Michael Jordan is coming, I could get the max dollar. The stadium gonna sell out. So as Jordan goes around the country, all the other teams make money. See what I'm saying? Because everybody want to see Jordan. So once they see that to push a superstar up like that, it bring money to all the stadiums. They wanted to keep doing it, but they couldn't do it organically. First it was organic. They had Dr. J. Dr. J was really the first basketball player that everybody wanted to see. You always had good players. You always had Will. You always had them, but the league wasn't. The basketball wasn't that big. The NBA didn't get big until the ABA folded. And when the players from the ABA came to the NBA, that's when the NBA went to the next level. Because that's when they got Dr. J. Dr. J used to play with the red, white, and blue ball in the ABA. So that's where they got George McGinnis, Dr. J. I think Artist Gilmore came from over there. And that's when the NBA started to go. Now, this is right behind the Black Power movement. Black is beautiful. So Dr. Dre had that big old afro, and he was flying and dunking that ball like that because nobody was really dunking like that. They would just jump up and just dunk it in, they would just jump up and just dunk it in, centers a little bit. But Dr. J, the one made the dunk a household name. So he was the first player that everybody running home to see Dr. J. So typically, all I did was like the Bulls. But when Philadelphia would come, we would go to see Dr. J. But see, the reason I say we wasn't no fanboys, because the people in Philadelphia, they was cheering for the Philadelphia. They not cheering for Dr. J. So sports, you was always cheering for your team. Now people would go to see an amazing player, but we never really fanned out for no individual player like that. That wasn't a part of sports. Only little children did that. You take your kids because your son want to see Willie Mays. Your son be fanned out, little boys. But the adults, we never was fanned out for no player because the main thing with sports is your team. You was into the team winning. You was into the team. So we was always into team sports. And then when LeBron came, they kind of messed the game up. They made the game like they individualized the game. That's the worst thing they could have ever did, is when they individualized the game. And a lot of real sports fans is complaining. They've been complaining. They've been saying, bring back the East versus the West. Nobody wants to see no Team LeBron. It's disrespectful. I'm not. So who we supposed to, if we in Chicago and this Team LeBron versus Team Durant, Who Chicago supposed to? Who we supposed to root for? None of them is from Chicago. None of them. What is it? They don't represent the East. They don't represent the West. They represent LeBron and Durant. And when historians look back, this is going to be the worst era in basketball. They're going to always talk about, well, and then we had that period where we didn't have the All-Star game with the East and the West. That was a bad period. Wonder what the records would be. They stopped the whole record, so no records been taken consistently. That was the dumbest shit ever. You've been taking records of the East versus the West all them years, and you just throw tradition away. That's what's wrong with the younger generation. They don't respect tradition. They don't know the difference. They don't know tradition. You can't always be making up no new shit. You got to stick with the tradition. And the NBA didn't stick with the tradition. So it was a whole big fiasco of clown stuff. Because I watched bro when he came. And he was good. I watched Cleveland all the time. He was good. He was good, but they formulated him into a different type of player. So it's not all his fault. The NBA let that happen. The coaches let that happen. The old school coaches, he would have had to play with everybody else. He would not have been up at the top of the key dribbling that ball like that. Plus, the new players, they ain't got no inside game. The inside game is just whack. And like basketball ain't no good if you don't got the inside game. If you're just shooting threes and shooting jumpers, that ain't no good. That's why Ja Morant was going to be the face of the NBA, because he was cutting and going to the hole. You know what I'm saying? They talking about doing the world versus USA. Yeah, they just going to ruin it. They don't ruin the sport. I don't watch it. I don't watch sports. Sports is phony. Soon as the sports come on and they say, brought to you by DraftKings, you already know the mob control it. How the hell is any sport brought to you by gambling? But yet they won't let Pete Rose go into the Hall of Fame for gambling. Now make this make sense. They won't let Pete Rose go into the Hall of Fame for gambling, but all the sports is brought to you by DraftKings. You feel me? Yeah, you know, maybe I go way back because your daddy used to take me. So my daddy used to take me to the Bulls with Chet Walker and Bob Love. You know what I'm saying? So I go back way back to that. I've been watching basketball back then. Earl to Pearl Monroe in New York, Walt Frazier, downtown Freddie Brown, like that. You know what I'm saying? I go back to the basketball from way back. And as soon as we get through watching basketball in the daytime, we go right outside and play. On Sunday, we watch them first, and we go out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Pete Rose was white. Pete Rose was white. They just letting you know, that it's brought to you by DraftKings. So, okay, yeah, the tank fight, yeah, it's a tie. You know what I'm saying? Brought to you by DraftKings.